Hello, this is Pluto. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a guide for the outside team on how to do the Voracious Void Raid in Wizard 101. If you could please like and share this video, I'd be greatly appreciative, and I'm trying to help the community learn how to do raids better and more efficiently. So before we start this video, let's start with two questions. First, what are raids? Raids are very unique in Wizard 101. They are 12-person dungeons that were added in the Wizard 101 Summer Update of 2022. To unlock raids, you must be a part of a guild and donate Azoth to unlock the Battle Island portal, which is the island I'm on right now. Once this portal right here is unlocked, you must then use Azoth and Zarathax's Monstrology TCs to craft a battle key. I will show you the recipe to the battle key right now. Whoops. You must use them to craft this battle key. As you can see, you need 625 Azoth for this, and you need 10 Summon Zarathax Monstrology TCs. So once you get the raid battle key, you'll use the key to open the raid portal, which is right here. You'll basically go up to the portal, press X, it'll say, would you like to use a battle key? If you have it in your inventory, you use it and it will open the portal. You must then gather 12 players to cast Magic Touch on the portal. Once you cast Magic Touch, I'll do it real quick. Once you cast Magic Touch, it will unlock this thing. Eventually all these rectangles will fill up blue, and then the portal will open. As you can see, you need 12 players. I'm one, so that's 11, but you need 12 players to be able to unlock this. Once the portal's open, you go right through, and then you'll enter this like kind of intermission area, where you'll see 12 yellow circles. On the right and left, you want your outside team to stand on the yellow circles, and then right forward in the middle, you would want the Vanguard team to stand on there. Once everyone's standing on their circle, the Vanguard team's portal will open, and then they will open up the gate for the outside team. Alright, so why am I not making a video on the Vanguard team? So, as you see by the title, this video is only a guide to the outside team, not the Vanguard team. I don't think I'm qualified, personally, to make a video on how to do the Vanguard team. I have not won a single raid as being on the Vanguard team, and the vast majority of the raids I've done have been on the outside team. I think I'm very qualified to make a video guide on how to do the outside team. I've completed a raid on the outside 11 times. I have a lot of experience of this. I've done many raids where I've lost on the outside, so I believe I'm pretty qualified to make a guide on how to do the outside. I believe it to be better to make a guide on what to do on the outside, as it's not really shown as frequently as well, and I think that because most people stream the Vanguard or make videos on the Vanguard, so I don't think it's necessarily best for me to make one on there, because those will have countless guides. I don't think the outside will have as many guides. And if you think about it, 66% of the players, 8 of 12, that's 66%, 66% do the outside. So this video will basically benefit 66% of the players that do raids. Obviously it would be most ideal to benefit all of them, but because I don't have the experience on the Vanguard that I would have liked to have, I am not going to make a video on the Vanguard team. So anyways, what will you need for the outside team? So the first thing you'll want is you'll want to have a Jade. Jade is very important. It can be a Life Jade or a Death Jade. I'm a Jade for the outside, so this is what my deck is looking like. I have, these actually are no PvP. You cannot use no PvP spells in the raid. But this is kind of what my deck is looking like. You want to have Ellie Blades, Ellie Traps, Storm Shields, Heals, Dispels, Storm Dispels, Storm Traps, Storm Blades, Balance Blades, and Ellie Blades. You want these to support the Storm that will be on your team. You will have 2 people on the outside hitting team. This will be the Jade and the Storm. The Storm will pack a Storm Scion, a Triton, and blades, traps, buffs, anything, frenzy, anything, any buffs just to buff him up. So those are the 2 for the hitting team. Those two will be doing the Surge fight and the Elf fight. The hitting team is unique in that it experiences all three of the outside portions. At the start, it will do mana game, then it will do hitting, and then after that, it will do the minion pulling. But we'll get to the stages of their actual raid later. Next thing you need is 3 people wearing Boots of the Comet. So these boots you can actually get in the Crown Shop for gold. Boots of the Comet, so you can actually buy these for gold. It's 12,000 gold. You want these boots because they give 8% speed. You will need 6 people with these boots. There's 2 different teams for them. So the first part is the mana team. The mana team does the mana game. The mana team wants these boots so that they can step on the circles fast. And then eventually the pulling team, which is the other 3 people, will want these boots to be able to pull minions faster. So these boots are pretty important to have, I'd say, for those teams. So you want 3 people on the mana team. It doesn't matter the school, it doesn't matter the level. You want just those 3 people, and that's the same for minion pulling. You don't need to have a level 150. It can be a level 30. It can be any level you want. So at the start of the raid, you'll be encountered with a mana drain. So the mana drain slowly drains the Vanguard team's mana. What you need to do is you need to do the mana game. This will be done by all 8 players, because all 8 players are going to be in the first area, so all 8 can just do the mana team. I will put up a map actually on the screen right now of mana spawn locations. So you'll see these yellow drums, yellow circles that will pop up on the map on the locations listed. What you want to do is you want to step on the circle when it's yellow and wait on it until it turns green and then step off. That's how you do the mana game. You'll do this until it says mana drain deactivated. So in the beginning you're going to have 8 people actually doing this, so you can split up accordingly. As the raid goes on, you'll have less and less people doing this, so you'll have about 3 people. On the screen you'll see that it's divided into 3 sections as well. The 3 people need to account for all of those spawn locations within their section. You just need to be very coordinated, and you'll need to focus. Let's go on to the power stars. So in between mana games, players need to run around the map finding power stars. So when you find these power stars, you want to collect them. You can only have 1 at a time. You can only carry 1. So once you find one, you want to go to the mana chest towards the middle of the map. You want to go to that chest. You want to wait. You want to wait until it will pop up with a yellow text on your screen that says 2 minutes to collect power stars for the mana chest. At that point, you and whoever else is there, we want to enter all of your stars into the chest. And then you'll go around the map finding other stars. Look for more stars after you enter all of your stars in there. Once you use the power stars to unlock the mana chest, this will give the Vanguard team mana, so that they can replenish their mana after mana drains. After this chest is over, you want to go back to the positions you were in for the mana game. You want to go back to the positions you were in and wait for the mana game to restart. Keep doing the mana game until it's done, and then you go back to collecting power stars, wash, rinse, repeat, until the Vanguard team is about to unlock the second area. How do you unlock the second area? There are 3 fights on the Vanguard side. There's the Phlegmasm, the Badger, and the Jaguar. The Badger fight is on the left side. So once they defeat the Badger, it will give them a symbol. And what you want to do is you want to enter that symbol on the left puzzle thing on the gate. I'm going to put up a picture of the gate on the screen. You want to enter it on the left one. And this will be the same with Phlegmasm, but on the right. And then once they defeat the Jaguar, this will be the middle symbol. And you want to enter that. And then once you've entered all 3, you pull the lever next to the gate, and then you enter the second area. When they're about to unlock the second area, you don't want to use your power stars to fill up the mana chest. You want to save your power stars, and you want to use them to unlock the Health Wisp chest. The Health Wisp chest is the same as the mana chest, except that it gives them Health Wisps. Once you do the Health chest, you are done collecting power stars. You don't need to do that anymore. The outside team does not need to do power stars, so you're done. So right after you unlock the health chest, you want to look for a token. So what you want to do is you want to actually go into pet mode. There are things in the raid map you can see only as your pet. You can see like pet mounds that give you cantrip TCs. One particular thing that you can see is you can see a token in the second area of the map. This token actually has a symbol on it. So the 3 people on mana team don't want to go into the second area. You guys want to stay in the first area ready for mana game. But the 5 people that aren't, the people that are on the hitting team and the people that are on the minion pulling team, they want to go into the second area and they want to be looking for a token in pet mode. This token will have a symbol on it, and then you go up to the second gate that unlocks the third area, and you will enter this symbol in the middle part of the puzzle. After that, you'll notice there are 2 other symbols on the right and the left. The Vanguard team, after they're done with the first 3 fights, are encountered with 2 new fights, Unfungi and the Gablorian Sentry. Unfungi, when they defeat him, it will give you the symbol that you enter on the left side. As for Gablorian Sentry, the same thing, it will give them a symbol. You will enter that on the right side for the third area. Once you have the symbols, you unlock the gate, and then you enter the third area of the raid. After you found the token, and you're waiting for them to do Gablorian Sentry, the Unfungi, you'll have your 2 hitters enter the Solar Surge fight, right at the front of the first gate. It's right at the start of it. It will give the Vanguard team a Shadow Pip and a Power Pip. You'll do this fight. It will be 1 minion. It will be random. It could be any of the 7 schools. And depending on which school it is, you can and can't do certain things. Which is why in my deck I pack traps and blades. Because how it works is the Rochambeau, which I'll actually put up on the screen right now. The Rochambeau, it will do cheats based on this. So you want to use buffs that won't cause cheats. Each school of minion will do different things. The minions you can use blades against are Myth and Life. The minions you can use blades against are Myth and Life. The minions you have to use traps against are Ice and Death. And then the minions you can do any of the above on are Fire, Storm, and Balance. For Death and Ice, you can only do traps. For Myth and Life, you can only do blades. You'll have your hitting team buff up for the Solar Surge fight and stall. Eventually, once the Vanguard team enters Nullity, you will want them to hit. You'll want to hit as your hitting team. You'll hit and you'll kill the minion, and then it will give them the Shadow Surge. Immediately after that, you want to go in and you want to start Thundering Elf. But while we've started Nullity, let's move on to something else. After they enter Nullity, and you've unlocked the third area of the map, it's very important that the 3 people that are on the Minion Pulling team go to the third area. This is a very important strategy to pulling minions. Shout out to AntLabs Matter, or Cole. He was the one that actually came up with this strategy. I'm reiterating it here. So we want to start with, once you get to the third area, there are 4 possible combat circles. These 4 combat circles are where you're going to be pulling minions. So it's important to start pulling minions in the one closest to the gate, and then go subsequently after. You don't want to start with the one right at the end by the portal where Nullity is, because then you won't have people at the front to stop minions from coming. So you want to start at the closest circle to the gate. So the first thing you want to do is, once you see a minion, have one of the people go into the battle. They'll go into the battle and they'll stall. What if you die? If you die in the battle, what you want to do is you want to run directly back into the minion. You want to run directly back into it. You want to just immediately go, because once you immediately go, you'll be pulled right back in. This is very important to be able to keep the fight going as long as possible. Now, I should mention, this does not work if you flee. You cannot run straight back in if you flee. It's only if you die. If you flee, it will give the minions time to get away from the circle. So only do not flee unless you have someone else to pull. So anyways, you got one minion into your fight. What's next? Well, when another minion spawns, someone else is going to join the battle. At this point, they'll pull the minion, and then they will flee. And then once another minion spawns, the third person's going to join the battle. They'll pull the minion, and then they flee. And now, how do you get a fourth minion? This is a little bit more complicated. So one person is going to want to go on the battle circle and stand in between the 2 minions. They want to stand right on top of the minions in the battle. They're not going to be able to enter the battle since they fled it, but once it's the planning phase, once it's your turn, you want to concede. Once you concede, the person that is in the battle circle, the person standing on the battle circle right next to the mobs, will be immediately pulled into the fight. And so will you. You'll also be pulled into the fight. The person that was standing in the circle will flee, and then you will wait until a fourth minion spawns. Once a fourth minion spawns, the person that was standing in the back, not on the circle or in the fight, will come, and he or she will pull the minion into the fight. And you will have 4 minions in a fight, and you'll have 1 person. When you die, you run right back in, and you keep doing that. You keep repeating this strategy for all of the fights in the 3rd area, all 4 of the circles. If you do this strategy efficiently, by the end of the raid, you'll usually only have 3 of 4. So there's definitely some room for mistakes, but you want to be very careful because adding minions to the nullity is a way to kill a run. There might be some room for mistakes in this. You want to be as efficient as possible. Once it's towards the end of the run, when nullity is almost dead, and once Thunder and Elf is dead, the hitting team and the mana gain team should then come to the pulling team, and then they will help pull minions to make sure no minions join the nullity fight. And I do also have one more thing to comment on. When nullity's dead, when they're about to kill, you want to concede the fight, because if you're actually dead in a fight and they win, you won't get drops. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, so to be safe, once they've killed nullity, just concede, be safe, don't lose drops because of it.
Okay, so just to reiterate here, what you want to do is when a mob comes, you want to pull the mob into the fight. So as you can see in the little animatic, she pulls the mob into the fight. And then when a second mob comes, another wizard wants to pull that mob into the fight. As you can see, the death pulls that mob into the fight. And then the death or the second wizard wants to flee the fight. When a third mob comes, the third wizard wants to pull that mob. As you can see, he pulls the mob, the myth pulls the mob, and they both enter the fight. And then the myth wants to flee the fight. Then the death wants to stand in the dual circle in the middle of where the mobs are. The ice will flee, and then the death will end up pulling those 3 mobs into the fight. When a fourth mob comes, either the ice wizard or the myth wizard can pull that mob into the fight, and then one of the wizards will flee, and then that will leave 1 wizard in the fight. So when you die in the fight, you want to immediately run back into those 4 mobs, and you will pull them every single time.
So let's move on to the Thunder and Elf fight. Now we are doing a little bit back here, because this will be going on while the pulling team is pulling minions. So for this fight, you'll encounter a boss on the far left side of the second area of the outside. This will be the Thunder and Elf boss. Now you'll notice that he's invisible, you can't actually enter the fight. What you need to do is there are 4 crystals around him. You need to cast Magic Touch on the 4 crystals, and then once they cast, it will summon the elf. You want to have your Jade enter the fight first, and then your Storm into the fight second. Now, the first turn, no matter what, you want your Jade to shield the hitter. Now, there's a reason you can't Dispel. Let's say the elf goes first and you Dispel. When the Storm hitter will Blade, the elf will actually cheat cast a Storm Blade, which will completely remove the Dispel, and leave the hitter open to a Scion. So you don't want to Dispel unless it is your starting turn. Unless the Jade is going first in a turn order, you do not want to Dispel. So if the elf ever goes second, do not Dispel. If the Jade is going first, Dispel. You want to Blade up into a Storm Scion. The Jade will be blading the hitter. It will be shielding or Dispelling to try and prevent the elf from killing the hitter. And the hitter will be blading up as well, and can also pack shields if needed. So once you blade up, typically you want 4 uncovered buffs with double damage. This will typically kill elf. And you blade up and you hit. Then elf will die, and it will cast a thing called Retribution on the nullity fight. This will lower the nullity's health by 10,000, 25%, which is a lot. And this will allow the Vanguard team to be able to kill nullity. After Thundering Elf, the hitting team wants to then go to the Minion Pulling team and do the Minion Pulling strategy with them. And then let's talk about the end of the mana game. So towards the end of the raid, when the nullity is soon dead, the mana team will leave their positions and help pull minions in the third area. Now this is only to be done so long as the Vanguard team has mana. If they don't have mana, you want to be careful and you don't want to do this. If they don't have it, don't do this, because if they don't have mana, they could end up losing their mana to the mana drain in the last moments of the run. But usually they'll have mana and you'll be fine to leave towards the end, because mana drain won't drain their entire mana supply. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I really hope it was helpful. Honestly, it's a lot of coordination to be able to do raids, but once you got the strategy down, once you know what Vanguard's doing, once you know what your outside team is doing, it's pretty fine. And if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. I'll try to explain them to the best of my ability. And if you have anything to add, maybe if you have any other strategies for the outside that work better than what I've described in this video, please also leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Anyways, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.